Have you ever wondered why you can give your all in the gym, eat clean during the day, and still wake up feeling smaller, weaker, like your progress is slipping through your fingers? You train hard. You push past the pain, you do everything right, or so you think, but something's happening when your eyes close at night, something silent, something most people never even notice until it's too late. While you sleep, your body enters survival mode, and if you're not prepared, it doesn't care how hard you trained or how much muscle you've built. It starts feeding on your own muscle tissue. That's right. Your body begins to break down what you've worked so hard to create. Not fat, not waste, but muscle, real strength, gone. This process has a name, muscle catabolism, and it's not just a fancy word from textbooks. It's a reality backed by science. When you sleep, your body goes for hours without food. No nutrients, no fuel, it shifts into a fasted state, and in that state it needs energy to repair, to recover, to survive. If your body doesn't have enough digesting nutrients in the system, it turns to the next best thing, your own muscle. Think about that for a second. Every night you close your eyes and drift into what's supposed to be your time of healing and growth. Your body might be doing the exact opposite. It's tearing you down while you rest. The same way water wears down stone, not in one night, but night after night in quiet destruction. Most people never see it coming. They blame age or stress or genetics. They say things like, my metabolism's slowing down, or I just don't build like I used to. But the truth, it's not about age, it's about strategy, or the lack of it. You see, building muscle isn't just what you do when you're awake. It's what you protect when you're asleep. This is where most people fail. Not in the gym, not in the kitchen, but in the hours when nothing seems to matter, when discipline is easiest to ignore, the moments before bed, when the world quiets down and it's just you, your habits, and the choices no one sees. And those small choices, they determine whether you wake up stronger or weaker. Here's the painful part, no one tells you this. Fitness influencers scream about training harder, about lifting heavier, about grinding more, but almost none of them talk about preserving what you build, about protecting your progress when you're not looking. That's the real game. That's where the winners are made. You might be losing muscle right now. Not because you're lazy, not because you're not trying, but because you don't know what's happening behind the curtain, and that ignorance costs you. But here's the good news, it's preventable, completely. You can take control of this. You can stop the damage. You can wake up with more strength, more fullness, more momentum than ever before. And it doesn't require extreme routines or expensive products. Just one simple change that creates a powerful ripple effect through your body and your life. That's why you need to keep watching. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to learn something most people will never be told. Something that has the power to preserve your muscle, rebuild your strength while you sleep, and help you finally unlock the growth you've been chasing, not by working harder, but by working smarter. You've already put in the effort. You've already made the sacrifices. Don't let all that go to waste because of one missing habit, one gap in your routine. You deserve to know the truth. You deserve to hold on to every ounce of progress you've earned. And tonight, that journey begins. Stay with this. What you'll discover might be the single most important shift in how you train, recover, and grow. This is where strength is protected. This is where progress is no longer lost in the dark. This is where your next level begins. But knowing the danger isn't enough. Awareness is only the beginning. Now comes the part that changes everything. Because once you understand what's stealing your strength, the question becomes, what will you do about it? You don't have to accept slow progress. You don't have to watch your hard work vanish night after night. There's a way to turn the tide, a way to build muscle even while you sleep. And it starts with giving your body what it needs, before it's forced to take from what you've already built. The body is a machine, a brilliant, relentless machine. It doesn't stop. It doesn't pause. While you rest, it's rebuilding, resetting, regenerating. But like any machine, it can't run without fuel. And if you go to bed on empty, your body does what it must. It adapts. It strips away muscle tissue for energy, not because it's cruel, because it has to. But when you feed that machine the right way, something incredible happens. The switch flips. your body stops breaking down and starts building up. Instead of survival mode, it enters growth mode, not during a workout, not during a meal, but during sleep. When your hormones are primed, when your body is at peace, when true recovery can happen. The key is simple: slow digesting protein. One decision, one choice, one habit that creates a chain reaction through your body. Casein protein, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, these aren't magic foods, they are strategic tools. They digest slowly. They release amino acids over hours. They stay active through the night. And they send your body one clear message: you are fueled, you are safe. You do not need to break down muscle for energy. That's all your body needs: a reason to preserve, a reason to grow. Studies have proven this. Athletes who consume casein protein before bed show better muscle retention, better recovery, more growth. Why? Because they're feeding their bodies through the hours most people ignore. Because they're staying one step ahead of catabolism. Because they understand that what you do before bed matters just as much as what you do in the gym. This isn't about eating more. It's about eating smarter. It's about aligning your routine with how the body really works. It's about creating a simple ritual that pays dividends in strength, energy, and momentum. No extra training, no added supplements, just timing, precision, strategy, that small act. Just a scoop of protein or a bite of slowed, digesting food can become your secret weapon, a silent force working for you while you rest. While others are losing ground, you're gaining it. While others wake up feeling drained, you wake up feeling driven, because this is bigger than just muscle. This is about keeping your word to yourself. It's about not letting your efforts go to waste. It's about proving that you're not like the rest, that you're not here to coast, that you didn't start this journey just to stop halfway. Discipline isn't loud, it's quiet. It's what you do when no one's watching. It's the decisions that seem small, but make all the difference. It's choosing to prepare your body, not punish it. Choosing to build a foundation that lasts. And here's the truth: this habit doesn't just feed your muscles. It feeds your mindset. Because when you take control of the night, you take control of the day. You sleep with purpose. You wake with power. You walk into each morning knowing you're not losing ground. You're expanding it. Most people will never do this, not because it's hard, but because it's hidden. Because no one ever told them that the hours between lights out and sunrise could be the most anabolic window of all. They overlook it. They skip it. They lose, quietly, but now you know. And once you know, there's no going back. No more excuses. No more accidental loss. Just one decision that rewires your results and your reality. So the next time you're getting ready to sleep, remember this: your body isn't done working. Your growth hasn't stopped, and your muscle doesn't have to disappear. You're either fueling it or feeding it to the night. Make the choice that builds you. Make the choice that honors your effort. One scoop, one step, one signal to your body that says, not tonight, tonight we grow. And if you stay committed to this, if you keep showing up for yourself even in the quiet hours, you'll start to notice the difference. In the mirror, in the weight you lift, in the way you carry yourself, stronger, sharper, unshaken, because strength isn't built in chaos, it's built in silence. It's built when you do the thing no one else is willing to do. Even when no one sees it, especially when no one sees it. Tonight you protect your progress. Tonight you choose growth. Every night is a test of whether you'll fall back into old patterns or rise into a higher standard. Because when the world slows down, when the distractions fade, and you're left alone with your decisions, that's when it's all revealed. That's when the truth shows up in silence. You either end the day with intention, or you let the day end you. Feeding your body before bed isn't just a nutritional choice. It's a declaration, a quiet signal to yourself that you're still in control, that you're not sleepwalking through this journey, that you're not just interested in success, you're committed to it. That commitment matters because growth is never passive. It doesn't just happen when you feel like it. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're busy, or if you've already done enough for the day. Growth demands consistency. It demands that you show up for yourself, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. Anyone can push themselves when motivation is high, But champions are made in the moments that feel insignificant, the 5 minutes before bed, the small actions no one claps for, the effort that happens in the dark. That's where discipline lives. That's where strength is carved, and this one habit becomes your anchor. It's not just about casein protein or yogurt or food. It's about what it represents. A mindset, a decision, a standard that says, I don't skip, I don't settle, I finish strong. You start to carry that standard into every part of your life, into your workouts, into your mindset, into your goals. Because when you train your mind to honor the small promises, the big ones become inevitable. You stop hoping for results and start expecting them. You stop wondering if you'll make progress and start knowing you will. That's what the greats understand. That's what separates the average from the elite. It's not more talent. It's not better genetics. It's how they treat the quiet hours. It's how they show up when there's no reward in sight. It's how they take a seemingly small action and do it with relentless purpose, and what starts as a single habit becomes a ritual that rewires your identity. You stop being someone who tries to build muscle. You become someone who protects it. You stop seeing yourself as someone who's always chasing progress. You become someone who lives in it. That identity shift is everything. Because once you see yourself differently, your behavior follows. You stop skipping meals, you stop wasting workouts, you stop second guessing your potential. You start walking like someone who is becoming unshakable, not just stronger in the gym, but stronger in life. And yes, it will feel small at first, maybe even too small, just a scoop of protein, just a bowl of food, but the power is in the pattern. You do it once, then again, and again. And before long, it's no longer a task, it's who you are. The mirror starts to reflect it, the weights feel lighter, your energy shifts, people around you notice, not just the physical change, but the presence, the confidence, the certainty, because you're not just working hard. You're working right, and you're no longer fighting against your body, you're working with it. You're not guessing anymore, you know what to do, you know how to win, and every night you reinforce that. Quietly, powerfully, that's how lasting progress is made. That's how goals are no longer just ideas. They become reality. You stop dreaming, you start building, and if you ever doubt yourself, if the results feel slow, if motivation fades, remember this: nothing good survives without protection. Not your vision, not your muscle, not your potential. It all needs a guard, and that guard is built in the hours no one sees. You're not here to lose. You're not here to maintain. You're here to rise. You're here to break the cycle, to outlast the excuses, to wake up stronger, physically, mentally, emotionally. And it starts by honoring the end of your day the same way you honor the beginning. No shortcuts. No skipping. No letting fatigue steal what discipline can protect. You've already put in too much to let it slip now. The pain you've pushed through, the sacrifices you've made, the vision you carry, burning inside your chest every time you lift, every time you grind, every time you refuse to quit. This is your edge. This is your advantage. While others sleep on their progress, you feed it. While others give in to comfort, you rise in commitment. The body you want, the strength you crave, the respect you're chasing. It's already within you, and every time you choose that small habit before bed, you're pulling it closer, you're shaping it, you're becoming it. So tonight, when the day winds down and the easy option is to do nothing, remember who you are. Remember what you're building, and make the choice that aligns with your future, not your feelings. Feed your body, fuel your power, and protect the muscle that's building more than strength. It's building you. There comes a point where effort alone isn't enough, where showing up isn't the full story, where the difference between staying stuck and breaking through lies in how precise you're willing to be. You've trained your mind. You've pushed your body, but the next level demands more than raw intensity. It demands intelligence. It demands that you stop acting out of habit and start acting with purpose, because even the strongest bodies can be undermined by the smallest blind spots. Skipping that last rep, ignoring recovery, sleeping on an empty stomach, they seem harmless in the moment, but stacked over time, they bleed progress, not in loud setbacks, but in silent erosion. That's what makes them dangerous. You don't see the loss until it's already happened, but you're not here to repeat patterns. You're not here to blend in. You're here to break cycles that have held you back for years. You're here to take what you've learned and carve out something real, something lasting. That's why this moment matters, because you're no longer acting from emotion. You're acting from clarity. You're making choices not for today's comfort, but for tomorrow's power. You've stepped into a different mindset. One where success isn't a guess. It's engineered, designed, protected, and that mindset starts to show in everything you do. It's the way you approach your evenings, not as the end of the day, but as the foundation of the next. You stop drifting through your nighttime routine and start owning it. No more going to bed depleted. No more waking up behind. You enter sleep as a builder, not someone who lets rest erase progress, but someone who uses it to multiply it. That's the edge, turning recovery into a weapon, knowing that when you feed your body correctly, you're not just preserving muscle, you're activating growth quietly, strategically, powerfully. It's not hype. It's biology. Your body wants to grow. It's built to adapt. It's begging for the right conditions, and when you give it slowed, ingesting protein before bed, whether it's a scoop of casein, a handful of nuts, a bowl of Greek yogurt, you're giving it exactly what it needs. You're lighting the fuse and letting nature do its work. That's how the transformation really happens. Not in front of the mirror, not under the barbell, but in the quiet, in the stillness, in the space where discipline meets design. You don't have to overhaul your life. You just have to take control of this one moment, this one window, this one shift from reaction to intention. And when you do, something changes in you. You start to move differently. With more confidence, more clarity. You stop second, guessing your routines, because now every part of your day supports the outcome you want. You're not sabotaging your progress anymore. You're sustaining it. You're building with momentum instead of battling resistance. That consistency starts bleeding into other areas. You become sharper, more focused, more deliberate, not just in fitness, but in life. Because when you build trust with yourself through small, repeated action, you unlock a deeper kind of strength, one that doesn't just show in your body, but in your decisions, your presence, your character. And that strength attracts results, not just because of the nutrients you're using, but because of who you're becoming in the process, someone who finishes what they start, someone who protects their progress, someone who doesn't need permission to improve. You don't rely on motivation anymore. You rely on mastery, and mastery is built in repetition. It's built in the choices most people overlook, the end-of-day rituals. The quiet signals that say, I'm still in control. That's where your edge is. That's where your identity is forged. The people who make it, the ones who actually reach their goals, aren't the ones who have perfect genetics or fancy routines. They're the ones who build habits that outlast excuses. They're the ones who understand that progress is never random. It's earned, layer by layer, action by action. You're already becoming that person. Every night you fuel your body, you prove it. Every time you say yes to the choice that feeds your future, you become harder to stop, more dangerous, more dialed in. And if there's ever a moment you feel like skipping it, like letting one night slide, remind yourself why you started. Remember the pain of plateaus, the frustration of inconsistency, the goals that felt just out of reach because something was missing. That something is no longer missing. You have the knowledge, you have the strategy. Now you have the responsibility to act on it. So tonight, when everything in you says it doesn't matter, you'll know better. You'll know it does, that one choice matters, that every night counts, that your next breakthrough is already being written in the way you end your day. You're not just maintaining anymore. You're building, you're accelerating, you're becoming, and it all starts with feeding the machine, so it stops breaking down and starts breaking through.